All right, questions, please. Justin Levine.
Hi there, thanks for taking the time to do this, and congrats on the win. Can you talk about, being able to take the win in the opener, especially being, the first competitive action that the PWHPA has seen in Canada this year, and has seeing Montreal getting extra training time, whereas Toronto hasn't. Do you think that gave you an upper hand to work on yourself more in order to get ready for today's game?
I think obviously this year there's a lot of things that were out of our control. I guess we were pretty happy with getting the exception in Montreal. I know Danielle put a lot of work into that. So obviously I think we were very cohesive, and obviously it's the first one of the in so many months I forgot, but I guess we need a little more time to practice and tidy things up a bit. But it's a pretty big win for us. Very exciting way to start this event.
And having Danielle there, was that helpful to your team and to yourself? Do you think that played a role to be able to have her in Calgary?
Definitely, she's very experienced with her Olympic coaching, but also with everything she does for women's hockey in general. She's a big reason why we have this facility in Montreal and have this opportunity to compete right now. So she's a calming presence, has a lot of experience. So yeah, she does bring a lot to her team right now.
Jared Book, please.
Hi, just wondering what obviously it's been a weird year for training in general, but what has it been like, getting used to the Montreal group and having the opportunity to practice in Montreal?
Yeah, it was a very exciting year for me. I got to move back to Quebec. I haven't been there in a long time, so that was definitely very fun, but also have such a talented group to practice with every day and workouts. So even if we didn't have games, we held each other accountable. We showed up to practice, gave it our best, and I guess it showed up today on the ice.
And you've played some PWHPA games last year, but did it feel a little bit different, representing Montreal in this one?
Yeah, definitely a little different. I guess I was used to beating them last year, but definitely fun to play with them, get the win today. I guess I've always loved Quebec, so it's really nice to play for my province now.
Sure, thank you.
Mike Murphy, please.
In this game, there's definitely a lot of rushes early, and both goalies, yourself and Shea really had to stand on their head. How tricky is it when you haven't gotten a lot of game opportunities, then all of a sudden, there's fast breaks and these rushes, and you're kind of trading saves and looking at each other, seeing who's going to break first?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of two things. When you get a lot of shots at first, it helps you quite a bit get into the game, get those nerves out. Like you mentioned, we haven't played in a while, so to be able to get those shots at first, make those important saves was very key for me to be successful the rest of the game. But like I said, I guess both teams were kind of just trying to look each other out, find tendencies and all of that. So it was a little back and forth, and Shea played a great game too. So she made some really key saves for them, and I think that's what the game was so good.
Thanks so much.
Donna Spencer, please.
Hey, Ann-Rene, it's been so difficult to keep up on who can do what across the country, but how long has it been since Bauer was able to practice as a team? How many on-ice sessions as a group do you think you got before you came here?
So we were able to practice about 5 times a week since October. I guess the last week before we came here, we were in quarantine, so we didn't get to go on the ice. So it was probably a few days. We got to practice yesterday morning, skate today. So it was nice to be able to get those legs moving. It's been a while, but I guess our group was very fortunate that we were able to get quite a bit of an on-ice time. But obviously there was breaks with Christmas and what happened with Worlds. A few of us took a week or two after to kind of get our emotions, put ourselves back together for this event.
How much of an advantage do you think that is for Bauer coming to this tournament? You've obviously got on the ice more than Toronto, than Sonnet and Scotiabank.
I guess we'll have to see in the future in the next few games. I guess just for us to have that team chemistry, to have practice all year together is very nice. And I guess we can really focus on what the other team have been doing. We just want to focus on ourselves, what we can do better next game, and how we can improve the rest of the event.
Thanks, Ann-Rene.
Kirsten, please.
Hi, I remember speaking to you early last season, and you mentioned at that time that was one of your first games or first high stakes games in probably over a year at that point too. So it's starting to feel a bit like a broken record. But how did your experience post-grad in Wisconsin sort of prepare you for this situation? What can you take from having that kind of experience, but also what do you lose without having consistent game opportunities at a high level?
Yes, I guess I had to change quite a bit. My postgrad year, like many of you know, I had the opportunity to coach at Wisconsin. I've learned a lot about the position, about myself, how to be a better teammate and have a better work ethic. I know someone that met me in the past probably would say I changed quite a bit, but that definitely has helped me. But this year to be able to consistently practice with some of the best players in the country definitely had helped me. But as a group overall, the P-Dub, all the players were definitely looking to have something more consistent. Like I've been going at least twice now with at least 14 months in between starts. So yes, it's getting a little old and I don't want to put anybody else through that. So we definitely need something more permanent to be able to get better every day and show the product we have. I strongly believe it's very good. And then when we have the opportunity to play and compete, people are going to really enjoy it.
Justin Levine, please.
Ann-Rene, I'm going to ask you two more questions. One, can you speak about the support of the Calgary Flames, who, while you guys aren't playing at the Saddle Dome right now, A, they're hosting 3 games to close this, and B, you know, they have graphics on Twitter, Instagram of the rosters and getting familiar with players. What does that mean to you as a player to know that the Flames have got your backs, specifically rather than just the NHL, given that a couple teams have partnered with the PWPA in order to put this event on? So I'll start there.
Yeah, obviously it's very important for us to have the support of those big big groups. Obviously they have a lot of people that follow them. They have a different fan base than we do, so it helps us grow. And that's very important. They also have infrastructure. So we definitely want to keep those partnerships going. And then obviously it helps with just people seeing us out there, making us look more credible and all of that. So we're definitely looking forward to be able to play the Saddle and compete, but those partnerships are really important and we hope they're going to continue in the future.
And lastly, what was the mindset going into today's game? As you know, Toronto, Montreal have a storied rivalry in hockey as it is, and I believe right now, as Ann-Rene has it, that the Montreal Canadiens and Toronto Maple Leafs are taking each other on the playoffs. So, you know, does that kind of thing weigh in on your mind, or is it just, you know, this another game, you know what you have to do, and was that kind of what led you into today's game?
We're definitely excited to go back to the hotel and watch the NHL game. Obviously, the Habs in Toronto, like you mentioned, is always a good rivalry. But even here, like I remember some of the girls on the bus talking about the games between Toronto and Montreal last year in the P-Dub, how Toronto beat them once and they beat them again and all of that. So I guess anytime in women's hockey, we get to play games, there's always like your friends on the other side, but you always want to win and compete. And I think you saw that today with the physicality of the game. So obviously Toronto, Montreal is going to be big and we're already looking forward to play against them again.
Okay, last call for questions. All right, thank you.
Thank you.